was a good boy.
Hey.
How was a good boy?
Give that back.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 MCU heroes who can't stand each other.
You wanna show me how to punch? Show me.
For this list, we'll be looking at pairs of Marvel characters that were basically enemies while they were on the same side. We'll include duos that have patched up their relationships as long as they spent some time at each other's throats. Since these rivalries are big parts of some plots, beware of spoilers ahead. What's your favorite pairing of MCU heroes? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Clint Barton vs. Pietro Maximoff. When an unsavory artificial intelligence program rose to challenge the Avengers, it convinced the Maximoff twins to join its cause.
Send out the twins. It's too short. That's what they signed up for.
Its actions helped strengthen the rivalry between Hawkeye and Pietro Maximoff. The characters meet at the beginning of the movie when the cocky Quicksilver taunts Clint.
You didn't see that coming?
As Ultron's twisted plans develop, Pietro and Hawkeye constantly take verbal and physical shots at each other.
What? You didn't see that coming?
But the two eventually put aside the differences to stop the AI. Unfortunately, their newfound understanding comes to a tragic halt when Quicksilver gives his life to save Hawkeye's.
You didn't see that coming.
It's a shame they never got the opportunity to spend lots of quality time together outside of a battlefield. Number 9. Nick Fury vs. Talos. The shape-shifting Talos seemed like a villainous Skrull that came to Earth for a sinister plot. As he imitates Nick Fury's boss, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and alien have an intense battle. While Fury's instincts tell him that he must protect humanity from what he believes to be a threat, Talos sees the human as another obstacle in the quest to save his species. But the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent warms up to the alien once the Skrull explains the sad backstory of his people.
You alright, friend? Never better.
The pair end up metaphorically and literally breaking bread together after talking things out. Although Talos eventually took on Nick's form on Earth, the alien still seems a little intimidated by Fury.
You gotta tell him.
It was fine. The little boy handled it. We helped.
Talos.
Come off it. How was I supposed to know that the whole thing was fake?
Number 8. Wanda Maximoff vs. Tony Stark. A young Wanda and Pietro once had to sit in their ruined family home and stare at a Stark mortar shell that could go off at any minute. That traumatic experience understandably led Scarlet Witch to hate Iron Man. During the events of Avengers Age of Ultron, Wanda uses her vast powers to target Stark and his team. After they work together in that film, Tony upsets her again when he orders Vision to keep her contained in Captain America's Civil War.
Wanda, I think you hurt Vision's feelings.
You locked me in my room.
Okay, first, that's an exaggeration. Second, I did it to protect you.
It's unclear whether they truly resolved their differences before Tony's funeral. The only thing we know for certain is that these two had a very rocky relationship. Number 7. Sam Wilson vs. Bucky Barnes. To be completely fair to Sam, he was nearly assassinated by Bucky the first time they met. The brainwashed Winter Soldier also damaged the Falcon wings and beat up the hero in Civil War. So, when Spider-Man webs the two Team Cap members up next to each other, it's not surprising to hear Sam turn to Bucky and say,
I hate you.
Despite the duo having plenty of reasons to avoid each other, they worked through their differences in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They admittedly got on each other's nerves plenty of times over the course of 6 episodes. But while they still might annoy each other, their friendship has definitely come a long way.
I've been making amends.
You weren't amending, you were avenging.
Number 6. Tony Stark vs. Doctor Strange. Within the realm of the MCU, both Tony Stark and Stephen Strange are each regarded as geniuses in their respective worlds.
I'm Dr. Stephen Strange. I need you to come with me. Oh, congratulations on the wedding, by the way.
I'm sorry, you giving out tickets or something?
The huge egos they developed from their talents being recognized made it hard for them to get along. Unlike some of the other rivalries in the MCU, there was never a physical confrontation between the two heroes. They preferred to verbally spar with plenty of excellent quips and jabs.
Who just saved your magical ass? Me.
I seriously don't know how you fit your head into that helmet.
Admit it. You should have ducked out when I told you to. I tried to bench you, you refused.
Unlike everyone else in your life, I don't work for you.
Although they worked together well, they still found it difficult to agree on anything. In a dramatic dose of irony, the moment where the two got on the same page was one of the most bittersweet moments in the MCU. Number 5. Natasha Romanoff versus Yelena Belova. After spending a long time apart, these two estranged sisters immediately fought each other. Their brief clash set the tone for their relationship. Although they were both trained as Black Widows and were in the same undercover family as children, their adult lives greatly differed.
But it does look like you think everyone's looking at you, like, all the time.
All that time that I spent posing, I was trying to actually do something good to make up for all the pain and suffering that we caused. Trying to be more than just a trained killer.
Natasha rose above her dark past and became an Avenger, as Yelena was forced to serve the evil Dreykov and assassinate people. While the formerly brainwashed Widow resented her heroic sister, it was clear that there was a lot of love beneath their strained relationship.
That wasn't real.
What?
That wasn't real. Who cares?
Don't say that. Please don't say that. It was real. It was real to me.
Fortunately, the siblings finally fully let their prickly guards down during one of their last meetings. Number 4. Hulk versus Thor. Honestly, Hulk isn't a fan of very many people to begin with, but he seemed to have a particular beef with the God of Thunder. The two first clashed aboard a helicarrier in 2012's The Avengers. Even after the two teamed up to stop an invasion, Hulk still had to get one last hit in. Their rivalry was reignited years later in Thor Ragnarok, when the powerful Avengers were pitted against each other in an arena. Although their match was stopped short before a true victor was determined, they still continued to disagree about a lot of issues afterwards.
Smash you.
I just didn't smash anything. I won that fight.
I smashed you.
Yeah, sure.
While their friendship has improved, we feel like the OG Hulk might still bump heads with Thor at any moment. Number 3. M'Baku versus T'Challa. During our first introduction to M'Baku, we saw the leader of the Jabari tribe challenge T'Challa for the throne of Wakanda.
I, M'Baku, leader of the Jabari wisdom.
I accept your challenge.
Their differing beliefs in how the nation should be governed quickly turned into a near-fatal battle in front of their allies. Fortunately, T'Challa urged M'Baku to yield so he could return home alive.
You have fought with honor. Now yield. Your people need you. Yield, man!
The Jabari leader later repaid the favor by helping the Black Panther survive a tremendous fall. Despite their fundamental differences about many things, the two fought side by side to take on Killmonger and multiple alien armies. It's inspiring to see the pair of intense rivals put their own reservations aside for a greater purpose.
Thank you for standing with us.
Number 2. Gamora versus Nebula. The story of how the Mad Titan raised Gamora and Nebula could probably fill a book entitled How Not to Raise Your Daughters. This pair of warriors were constantly forced to fight each other for their father's favor.
Every time my sister prevailed, my father would replace a piece of me with machinery, claiming he wanted me to be her equal.
The Mad Titan's insistence on pushing Nebula for Gamora's success drove a wedge between the two that led to several intense duels.
You were the one who wanted to win, and I just wanted a sister!
In nearly every film they appear in together, it seems like one sister is moments away from slaying the other.
You're welcome.
I didn't ask for your help.
And yet, you always need it. Get up. Father wants us back on the ship.
But they always stop before crossing that line. Now that Thanos is out of the picture, the present Nebula and past Gamora might fully bury the hatchet for good.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Tony Stark vs. Steve Rogers. Shortly after this heroic duo met, we could sense a palpable friction between them. They nearly came to blows in both the Avengers and Age of Ultron.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off, what are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
I know guys with none of that worth 10 of you. I've seen the footage. The only thing you really fight for is yourself.
But their relationship reached its lowest point during Captain America's Civil War. Their differing opinions on what to do about the Sokovia Accords and the Winter Soldier sparked an explosive clash of heroes.
I'm trying to keep you from tearing the Avengers apart.
You did that when you signed.
After they cooled down, it's revealed that Steve knew a brainwashed Bucky assassinated Tony's parents. This shocking turn led to a harrowing fight that broke Cap and Iron Man's friendship and severely divided the Avengers. While they did eventually stand by each other again, it took almost 7 years and the loss of billions of lives before they ended their bitter feud.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.